Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are on May the 22nd. It's a really good day yesterday. It was busy, but not too busy, and the Lord had plenty of blessings in it. Some changes there are afoot from Sunday as we put some of that stuff into practice. It's one thing to hear the Word of God, it's another thing to live the Word of God. It's one thing to know His ways, it's another to live His ways. It's a choice to walk in His righteousness. And the amazing things that get unlocked when we choose to be obedient and to follow His ways, it's amazing stuff. It pleases Him, and it's for our benefit, so why wouldn't we want to do it? This morning, as we continue to read through some of David's Psalms, and we are drawing close to the end of his history. There's a lot of explosions of praise this morning through those Psalms. Great moments, great things to highlight. Also some things that are pretty challenging, and it's always that way with God. There's at one point where it talked about that generation of Israel that knew Moses in the pillar, and he spoke to them out of that cloud. And they knew him as the God of forgiveness, but also the avenger for their misdeeds. And there's that tension that there is sometimes in that relationship. That He is our corrector. He will correct us. When we are His children, He will correct us, and we need that correction. It's for our benefit, but He's also the rewarder. He's as we read here in Psalm 95, it says, "Come, let's sing out loud to the Lord. Let's raise a joyful shout to the rock of our salvation. Let's come before Him with thanks. Let's shout songs of joy to Him." I love that because there's so many people who are down on various forms of worship, and I'm not saying that anybody should be forced into a form of worship that they feel uncomfortable with, but it's not about our comfort, is it? And if that's where somebody is in the maturity, then that's okay. People have to enter into such things voluntarily. They can't be forced or manipulated or anything else. But all through, as I read the examples of praise and worship in the Word, it's come before Him with thanks. Let's shout songs of joy to Him. Worship was a very noisy affair with David. It was noisy. As many instruments as possible. Shout, 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 he said all the time, because it was passion and gratefulness. And we can be grateful in quietness, yes, but there's also times of great exuberance when you realize the majesty, the joy, the wonder of our God, what He has done for us. We're filled with such thanksgiving, and we just want to dance, and we want to shout, and we want to lift up holy hands, and just let's shout songs of joy to Him. The Lord is a great God, the great King above all other gods. The earth's depths are in His hands. The mountain heights belong to Him. The sea which He made is His, along with the dry ground which His own hands formed. If you can't create Him or worship Him for anything else, you can at least worship Him as Creator. We want to move into a place of intimacy where we worship Him as our Father, where we worship the King of Kings, where we worship Him as the lover of our soul, where we worship Him as He's closer to us than our skin. He inhabits us, and we inhabit Him. And it's this incredible relationship we have with Him that we don't have with anybody else. Yeah. Come, let's worship and bow down. Let's kneel before the Lord our Maker. He is our God, and we are the people of His pasture, the sheep in His hands. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. That's a huge statement. You're proclaiming a lot there. When you say that, I am a child of God. When I consider my day, I could consider my weaknesses, I could consider my past, I could consider all kinds of things that would prevent me from loving the way He wants me to love, from doing the things that He wants me to do. He's called me into something I don't deserve to be part of, but it has nothing to do with what I deserve. It has to do with what He gives, what He freely gives. We don't deserve it, but because of His love, because He is good, He has chosen it for us. He wants us to have it as His children. I am a child of God. So you have a blessed and wonderful day. Learn to dance before the Lord. Rejoice in Him. Be thankful. Be thankful for all that He does, because we belong to Him. We belong to His pasture. We are citizens of the kingdom. We are the adopted children by His grace, brought into His presence.